Hello and welcome to my Let's Play / stream of Star Trek Online. This is part 27 of my TOS era tactical officer. We are about to go back in time to 2365. Sorry, 2265. Back to the 23rd century, and about 5 years before our character departs in 2270 in glorious battle. But that's neither here nor there. But we're going to go and meet some characters. Of course, this is carrying on from the last episode where we went into the spooky depths of the Rosanna station, and we found out that the Devidians have a portal back to the 21st century. 22nd century, 21st century, 21st century, and they're coming through, and they're feeding not only on 23rd century Rosanna station people, they're also feeding on everyone in the Alpha Quadrant. So we're going to put a stop to that. Before I do, I'm just going to do my usual messing about, but also take this opportunity because to say please do subscribe. Also check out the previous parts in this playlist of all my previous things, so you get up to speed on the rest of my character, and also feel free to comment and also thumbs up or thumbs down. So let's go back to the 23rd century.
Obviously, the Devidians have found a way to harness this surge of triolic energy. The existence of the Devidian portal means they're traveling freely between the station in the present and in the past. Since 23rd century technology can't detect the Devidian phase shift, that time period is rife with potential victims. The only choice now is to stop the incursion at the source. You'll have to take that portal into the past and find out how the Devidians are creating this new surge of triolic energy. Stop them and find a way back without altering the timeline. Don't worry about temporal investigations. I'll pull a few strings. They'll never know you were gone. Best to keep your team small just in case.
Okay, well, the slight problem is that I'm actually from the 23rd century, so... But unfortunately, because this was before the TOS era before the TOS era was actually involved, it would have been pretty cool, like they update this mission and maybe put it back in the rotation, the Spectres thing, and that you potentially could bump into your past self, you know. Maybe you was on shore leave at Rosanna station during this, you know, it would be pretty cool, but of course we have to worry about that, so let's accept the mission.
Until next time.
Not like we can't not accept the mission, and let's head to Rosanna's maintenance level. Now, we don't have to go and fight our way through a crazy hologram this time around. We can just go straight to the portal and take it back to the 21st century.
Welcome to Rosanna.
Yeah. That greeting's been there since Rosanna's been in. It really does need to be updated. So we are Rosanna station in the 25th century. We're heading down to I was floating there. So go down to Rosanna's and begin everything old is new. So we'll take Scavin, and we'll take, might take Tarsi with us. Take Tamet, she's a science officer. which was our first officer, but we'll take Tamet and Scavin. I will keep the proton pack with us because we potentially going to be facing. I think we're going to be facing Devidians. Sure. Pretty sure we will be facing the Devidians. This is what I like about Star Trek Online. They can take away a throwaway alien that was used in one episode. Well, it was used in 2 episodes, really. Make them a threat for 5 featured episodes. Pretty cool. Back when they didn't have any a proper modulated energy discharge should allow us to use this portal to follow the Deviants back through time. Once we get there, though, it might be a bit trickier to get back. We should bring as few people as possible to minimise the chances of distorting the timeline. And here we are. We're still on Drozana Station, sir, just in the past. We need to be very careful, Captain. If we damage the station or injure anyone, we could damage the timeline irreparably. Even if Drake doesn't care about temporal time directive, we should. We're still Starfleet officers, after all. Set weapons to heavy stun. We're still in the computer core, Captain. Strange, I wonder why there's nobody here. From what I remember from this time period, we should be someone here, even a technician. If we can find the right parts, we could cobble together a subspace field emitter and perhaps get an idea of what the Deviants were doing here. By using 23rd century technology, we will make it very difficult. The Federation won't develop ways to detect subspace variances that the Deviants use until almost a century from now. I'll make a list of equipment we can here that we can use to fine-tune the Drozana Station sensor array. We can properly find the regulator component somewhere near the computer core and the induction core and the power systems above. So, now, our character no wonder there's nobody here. The station is on the medical alert. Non-essential personnel are confined to quarters in the computer core locked down. Unfortunately, that lockdown works both ways. No one can get in, but we can't get out either. Lucky for us that these old systems have somewhat well documented problems and shouldn't be too difficult to override the controls. Sir, these old Durotonic computers have a memory fault that makes them susceptible to overloads. An overload could cause it to lose processors, like the one locking the door in the computer core. In this century, there shouldn't be any task that couldn't overload them, but there's an infamous 24th century warp geometry problem that would be insolvable with the processing power available to this computer. We set the console to divert processing to the parts of this problem. We might be able to cause a memory overwrite that would make the computer lose its security lockout. So, we're going to, so as I was saying before I went to that door, my characters, or my bridge officers, they have pretty much forgotten the fact that they're from the 23rd century. I, of course, haven't. See, they were just brought forward along with all the crew of the Clemson, but they would have been Daniels would have made sure that they would have forgotten the fact that they were around here. So what we've got to do, we have to override the computer to make it open up. Now there's several consoles on the level. We have environmental control systems and all that around to try to get them to open the door. So we're going to go to the power distribution console, which is not that one. Power distributions, this one. And we switch it to memory bank 1. And the field integrity, which is above us. Not worry about my bridge officers, I can get them to come back and follow me. And we switch that to bank 1 and 3. I know that noise is annoying, but that's nostalgia. I love that. I love the old the old TOS era computer core running. I think it's awesome. Much better when it's on the bridge of a ship. So we need to go to the environmental control system, and that to 1 and 2. Right to this one for 1. Yeah. I did it. Open the door. It should open now. Now, there are security running around the deck. Now, this Lieutenant Mears is going to intercept us, and he's going to say we're outside of quarantine, and we've got trying to convince him.
What are you doing down here? This station is on medical alert. Nobody's supposed to be in the computer core area but me. Hey, is that a weapon? Don't try anything, or I'll have to stun you.
Now, if you don't have diplomacy above level 3, you won't be able to use the diplomacy option. The other way to get to him around, just say I'm lost, and then you get another sub thing. But we're going to just bypass him straight away and just say, I'm consulting specialist looking for the source vector. I'm supposed to be down here.
That's fine. I can give you directions. Just head the rest of the way up the ramp. Go through the upper connecting room, and then take the maintenance lift up.
Thank you. Now, as I was saying before, Mears comes down to us now. There are security patrolling the deck. Now, we've got to come in here and we've got to get the regulator. And that's the Duratonic relay. Now, Mears will just keep walking up and down. Don't have to worry about him. He's going to patrol up here now. So I'm reading patrol team ahead. Since the station is on medical alert, they're probably following a standard patrol pattern. We might be able to sneak past them or even lock them in one of the side rooms. So that's what we're going to do. Now they should come down. Here they come. Now get out of the way. Now, because it's 1960s Trek, they're not going to see us. So you've got to wait for every single one of the patrol members to go in. Alright, so we'll go over here and lock the door. Now, they're sealed in. Got 2 chances to do that to get them to lock them in, but they're all right. Trial it waves. So now we have Ensign It's in Sabal here. Now, I don't think we can actually talk our way around her. Okay, so we'll talk to her.
Oh hey, you shouldn't be here. You should get up to the quarantine area.
What are you working on?
Just running a level 3 diagnostic on the subsystem. The computers on the station are state of the art. I can simulate an entire copy of the station and display every piece of it as a wireframe model.
That's impressive.
I know, isn't it? I'm very fortunate to be able to work here. Working on a station like this really strikes home just how modern and new everything is.
Isn't this subsystem tied to the main computer core?
Yes, although it has its own memory and subprocessor as well. It can even work in parallel with the computer core's main processor.
What happens when you tie it into the main computer's memory?
Here, I'll show you. That's odd. The core isn't responding to my request. I need to go talk to Lieutenant Myers. Make sure you get up to the quarantine area and get checked out by the doctor.
So, you got rid of her. You can knock her out. That warning, so we need to disconnect the power. Touch the static discharge plate. Unlock the safety cage. And then remove the monitor. And then we can take the regulator. Some uranium. Now we can reach the maintenance lift, and we should be all right now. Yep, we're okay. So the maintenance lift is that away. 21st century they built doors big, didn't they? This isn't the power distribution level, so security's overridden the turbo lift. They must have detected our arrival. Station security will probably be here any minute. If we're going to get out of this without fight, we better look for an alternative equipment. We have to find a console to use to override the turbo lift so we can keep it going. Another group of Starfleet officers, sir. If we're cautious, we might be able to avoid them while they're out looking. Okay. Now, should be able to just simply walk past them without engaging any of them. Now this last set, I've always had a problem with this. Lieutenant Shaman always instantly attacks without.
Hold it right there.
Should be able to talk to the security team.
Hold it right there.
See, I should have the ability to talk them out, but for some reason For some reason it won't let me. Now we can just take the lift up to the next level. This of course is where we fought the you notice it, this is where we fought the angry the deranged hologram. This is his level. He was in here. It's a nice touch that we're here anyway, so let's go to the power distribution level. So we should be able to find an induction core on this level as part of the power systems. Then we simply put the rig in the subspace infuser and the sensor array, and then we can pinpoint the Devidians incursion. You there. Don't just stand there, come over here and give me a hand. People are dropping like flies on this station, and that's all I can do to keep up. Who are you? Leonard McCoy, Leonard H. But this is no time for introductions. What's going on? Some kind of illness is affecting the people on the station. Blue flashes and ghost stories. There has to be some reason for it, and we need to stop it. People are dying here. Now, if you are following along with me, this is part 1. When we got back to space dock, the crew of the USS Enterprise were in the 23rd century's space dock's lounge. Now, Dr. McCoy was there, and he said, "You look familiar to me." And of course, my character being like going, "No, never met you before, Doctor." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm sure you have a face that's familiar to me." Anyway, what can we? So this is our first meeting with Bones, 5 years before we met him again. So technically, this is our first meeting, but our second meeting. Temporal mechanics. So what do you need me to do? As far as I can tell, all these people reported seeing those strange blue flashes of light. Now they're all dying. They're worse than dead. Their brains are gone. Whatever this disease is, it's suppressing brain activity in an alarming rate. It's almost as if the energy between the neurons was being removed somehow. The blue flashes seem to be isolated with a strange form of radiation. We've set up a triage center here. That crazy engineer said that the power distribution system is heavily shielded. What kind of radiation? How should I know? I'm a doctor, not an engineer. The blue flashes are still happening anyway. We need some way to replace that neuroenergy, jumpstart their brain somehow. Tactical, like reinforcing the drain shield generator. I suppose that's one way of looking at it, but the mind is much more complex and delicate instruments. Maybe that's the key. The brain might be able to restart itself. It's stimulated correctly. Give it the energy it needs, and then the stimulus will make it spread throughout the nervous system. I need to know how much neuroenergy that survivors have, so that we can figure out how much they've lost. Then we will need to apply cortical stimulators at the correct frequency. It's no pancreas. It's no panakia, but it's going to save. No panakia, but it may save the lives of the crew. Saving these lives is important to making sure that everything turns out the way it should. Come on, grab a tricorder, Start checking the neural activity of some of these survivors. Take note of your readings. We need to have to calculate the difference from the healthy mind and to determine the right frequency to stimulate the brain. The normal brain neurons is resting potential of -7 millivolts. Once you've done some readings, we'll collaborate our cortical stimulator and try to revive some of these people. Now, of course, I'm using a guide, so you can use this as a guide. So we need to go and scan some people. So this is the person we need to scan his neural energy. Take specific readings. Scan for neural resting potential. Neuron resting potential reading -70 millivolts. Normal human neuron registering potential -70 millivolts. Scan for neural sodium potassium pump level. Interior neuron sodium ion levels really elevated. Sodium potassium gates damaged. Scan for anomalous neural activity. Sodium potassium gates damaged by a forcible ion movement, likely cause sudden change in neural voltage. Predictive results: hallucinations, loss of motor functions, nervous system damage. And I've got to do Lieutenant. Scan for the neuron resting potential reading -58 millivolts. Normal 50. Exterior potassium levels elevated. Neurons limited to +50 megavolts. Millivolts active potential. Normal human active potential +30 millivolts. Sodium and potassium ions depleted. Some of the neurons incapable of electrical response, likely cause sudden change in neural voltage. Fatigue, blurred vision, dulled senses, loss of atomic functions. Now, return to Dr. McCoy. Review findings. So normal human neural potential, resting potential is 70. It's +30. Calibrate cortical stimulator. So we've got set the voltage to 70. That to +30. And set the channel to sodium external, potassium external and internal. Let's try it. Now, Bones is going to go and talk to the station commander, but we're not. We are going to go and get that induction coil. Now, this is another level that appeared we were at when we got the scans, and this is the that weird looking the thing we took the induction coil. So clearly we're the ones who broke this station. But it's nice to see it in working order in the 23rd century as it is. So we're going to integrate it into the station's scanners. It's working, so the emitters are adjusted to active scanners for the station. What do you make of these readings? Imaging shows that the station is becoming suffused. with triolic radiation. Radiation is coming from Driffin's comet. The comet itself is emitting mass amounts of triolic energy. The Devidians must realise that their natural source of energy, and they're using it as an easy way to shift the sync with us. It's like riding behind the wake of a ship in the water. But that's not all they're doing, sir. They're harnessing the triolic energy and infusing it into chronicon particles. With that, they could have enough energy to move the entire station out of phase, maybe even the entire sector. We have to stop them. The comet is key, sir, but we can't do anything about the comet without a ship. And I don't think a 21st century vessel is going to be able to do the job. With the information, it's clear that we have to find some way to destroy Driffin's comet, sir. We can use one of the auxiliary reactors to sync with the subspace emitters that we hooked up to the station in order to make a temporal portal that will take us back home, back to our time. Once we're back there, we can report to find and bring a ship back with us to destroy the comet. So we're going to have to try and form a triolic portal. Naturally, our we have another problem. We absorb so much triolic radiation at this point that the travelling through a gate again will cause radiation poison. Normally we'll just have used hydrogen. Are you done? You don't just realise you just destroyed our only way home, don't you? Yeah? Well done, geniuses. We have another problem. We've absorbed so much triolic radiation at this point that travelling through a gate again will cause radiation poisoning. Normally, we'll just use hydrogen to flush it out, but our medical supplies aren't protected against phase shifting. The use of hydrogen supply probably already irradiated, and it isn't the sort of problem that comes up frequently. We just need a large dose of hydrogen to chelate out the existing triolic radiation and protect us from the transition back through the portal. There's one person who could probably help us with that. Doctor. We're going to try and get the dose from Dr. McCoy. Something else you need? Actually, I have a friend who took too much triolic radiation and could use some hydrogen. A friend, eh? With all the radiation flares that the station's experiencing, we're probably going to have a little short of hydrogen ourselves. I could maybe spare a hypo if your friend is getting radiation, he or she, on the station already. I need a double dose to chelate out the significant amount of triolic. You should never lie to your doctor or your bartender. That much radiation would mean you've experienced something close to an epicenter, like falling around with triolic waves. You don't need the green blooded pointy ears to know that that is a bad idea. But when the people on this station really needed it, you came through. I appreciate that. I think I can spare a few doses. Just don't let the station's captain hear about it. Thanks. Look, I'm not sure who you are or where you came from, but I'm not one to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just an old country doctor, and I know better than to ask too many questions about little unexpected help. You probably shouldn't loiter around too much longer, or people will start to ask questions, and I'm going to put these cortical stimulators to use. And thanks, you saved a lot of lives today. So, going back to the 25th century. Jude's on the station and report to Wally Features. I think that's all we need to do on Trezon Station. I think the next mission, which we do, we've got to take the ship back to destroy the comments. We just go back to the system. So, anyway, let's report to Franklin Drake and end this part right here. I don't like working for Section 31, but I get my little snacksy badge.
So Driffin's comet is the source of the triolic radiation. That explains a lot. However, we cannot simply destroy it in our time. The Devidians have the means to go back to the 23rd century and harness its energy there. However, that will be their only other chance. Before that, there's no Drozana station, so there's no place that will be close enough to the comet's trajectory to be of use to them. The only logical solution is to alter the past. Destroy the comet there, and save the Federation. As it happens, I have access to a way to transport your ship back to the 23rd century. It's risky, but I think the odds are in your favor. And if they aren't, there's always time for another try. I'll make the arrangements. Stay in touch. Drake out.
So we're going to get the twin phaser array.
Until next time.
And we'll be doing the Night of the Comet in the next part, which is part 28. So, and that will be the end of the Spectres additional missions. But they are fun. It's nice to see they're back to the 21st century every once in a while. But thank you very much for watching. Live long and prosper. Please do subscribe, comment, and also thumb up or thumb down. I don't mind. And I'll see you in part 28 when we go and destroy the comet and cut off the Deviants' chances of feeding on the 23rd and 25th century. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.